Have you ever pondered the influence of royal fashion on today's luxury trends? It's an intriguing intersection where the grandeur of royalty meets the allure of fashion, creating a mesmerizing mix of power, wealth, and style. Let's take a step back and consider the concept of royal fashion. It's much more than just a collection of dazzling gowns and regal suits. Royal fashion is a visual narrative, a fascinating tale of power and prestige told through the language of clothes. Every stitch, every fabric, every color is chosen with meticulous care, reflecting not just the personal taste of the wearer, but the political and social climate of the time. Historically, royal fashion has always been a symbol of power, wealth, and status. The kings and queens of yore donned the finest silks, the most intricate embroideries, and the most precious jewels, not just to impress, but to assert their authority and superiority. They set the standards of style and elegance, and their sartorial choices trickled down through the society, influencing the fashion trends of their times. Fast forward to the present day, and the impact of royal fashion on luxury trends is just as significant. The fashion choices of today's royals, from their ceremonial attire to their casual outfits, are closely watched and emulated by millions around the world. They continue to shape the luxury fashion industry, inspiring designers to innovate and consumers to aspire. But royal fashion isn't just about the clothes. It's about the aura of majesty, the charm of tradition, and the allure of exclusivity. It's about the timeless appeal of elegance and the enduring desire to be a part of something bigger, something grander. So why does royal fashion matter? Because it's a testament to our collective fascination with royalty, our admiration for their elegance, and our aspiration to emulate their style. And as long as these sentiments persist, royal fashion will continue to influence luxury trends, molding them in its regal image. To fully understand this influence, let's delve into the annals of history and explore the evolution of royal fashion. The medieval period saw the birth of royal fashion as we know it. In this era, monarchs and aristocrats donned clothing that was not only a display of their wealth but also a symbol of their power. As such, royal fashion was born out of the desire to distinguish oneself from the common populace and to command respect. Consider the Middle Ages, a time when the clothing of the upper classes was characterized by its elaborate and luxurious nature. Royal men wore tunics or doublets layered over long, flowing robes, often adorned with precious gems and intricate embroidery. The women, on the other hand, graced themselves in gowns of velvet and silk, featuring long trains and elaborate headdresses. This was a time when clothing was a clear indicator of social status. The more ornate and expensive your attire, the higher your standing. It's no surprise then that the royals, the pinnacle of society, would wear the most opulent attire. But royal fashion was not merely about grandeur. It was a trendsetter, influencing the fashion of the time. The styles worn by the royals were emulated by the nobility and the wealthy, creating a ripple effect that trickled down to the lower classes. As a result, the fashion trends of the medieval period were largely dictated by what the royals wore. This influence was not just confined to their own kingdoms. As news of their fashion choices spread, other monarchs and aristocrats across Europe began adopting these styles, further solidifying the impact of royal fashion. However, it wasn't all about outward appearance. Royal fashion also served a practical purpose. The heavy fabrics and layers provided warmth in the cold, drafty castles. The long, flowing robes were not just stylish, but also served to protect the wearer from the elements. In essence, royal fashion of the medieval period was a blend of luxury, influence, and practicality. It set the standard for what was considered high-end style. As we move forward in time, royal fashion continues to evolve and shape luxury trends. The birth of royal fashion in the Middle Ages laid the foundation for the intricate relationship between royalty and fashion that we see even today. The Renaissance period was a golden age for royal fashion, setting new standards for luxury. During this time, the world saw a dramatic shift from the simple and functional clothing of the Middle Ages to the extravagant and opulent attire of the Renaissance royalty. Royalty became the trendsetters, their fashion choices cascading down through society. Their clothing became a symbol of their power and wealth. Intricately designed garments, adorned with jewels and precious metals, became the norm. Silk, velvet, and fur were favored materials, showcasing the wearer's affluence and taste. In this era, the silhouette of the royal attire also evolved. For women, the fashion was to have a small waist, accentuated by a voluminous gown. The bodice was often decorated with pearls and gemstones, and the sleeves were puffed and extravagant. Men's fashion was no less grand, with doublets, hose, and cloaks being the order of the day. Color too played a significant role in royal fashion. Bright hues were preferred as they were a sign of wealth. The process to create such colors was expensive, thus only the wealthy could afford them. Reds, purples and golds became synonymous with royal attire. But it wasn't just about the clothing. Accessories were equally important. Ornate jewelry, feathered hats, and elaborate shoes added the finishing touches to the royal ensemble, further emphasizing their status and wealth. This extravagant fashion of the Renaissance royalty was not just a display of wealth and power. It also influenced the fashion industry. The demand for luxurious materials and intricate designs led to the establishment of guilds and workshops dedicated to producing high-end fashion. This marked the birth of luxury fashion as we know it today. The influence of royal fashion didn't stop in the Renaissance. It continued to evolve and shape luxury trends in the centuries that followed. From the grandeur of the Renaissance, we move on to the elegance of the Victorian era, another significant period in the history of royal fashion. But that's a tale for another time. In modern times, royal fashion continues to exert a significant influence on luxury trends. Now let's travel through the sartorial timeline to the present day, where the essence of royalty still weaves its magic on the runway. Today's monarchs and their families, from the British royals to the monarchs of Monaco, have taken the mantle of setting the tone for high-end fashion. Their elegant and sophisticated clothing choices are no less influential than the opulent gowns and intricate suits of their predecessors. Take, for example, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. Her style is a blend of traditional and contemporary, often favoring British designers. Her clothing choices are closely watched and widely imitated, causing the so-called Kate Middleton effect, where items she wears quickly sell out worldwide. But it's not just the women who are influencing luxury fashion. Prince Charles, with his double-breasted suits and penchant for timeless elegance, has redefined the idea of masculine style. His influence shows that royal fashion is not gender-exclusive and has a broad sway over the luxury fashion industry. In the same vein, younger royals like the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, are also making their mark. Meghan's minimalist, chic style has become a beacon for modern luxury fashion. Her preference for clean lines, monochromatic outfits, and sustainable brands has been a game-changer, proving that royal fashion can also be eco-conscious. These modern royals display a knack for balancing tradition with contemporary trends, creating a unique blend that's both regal and relatable. Their clothing choices often become instant trends, setting the standard for luxury fashion houses and style enthusiasts worldwide. Moreover, their influence goes beyond just clothing. Accessories, makeup, hairstyles, all aspects of their presentation are scrutinized and often replicated, demonstrating the holistic influence of royal fashion. From medieval times to the present, royal fashion has always been a driving force in shaping luxury trends. Their enduring impact is a testament to the power of royalty in defining what it means to be fashionable, elegant, and truly luxurious. The impact of royal fashion on luxury trends is undeniable and enduring. From the birth of royal fashion, we saw how the monarchs of yore used their attire to communicate power and prestige. Royal fashion was, and continues to be, a visual language that transcends verbal communication, sending messages of authority, wealth, and influence. The golden age of royal fashion saw a burst of opulence and extravagance that still inspires luxury fashion today. The gowns and suits worn by kings and queens, princes and princesses, were no longer just about showcasing wealth, but became a form of art in themselves. The meticulous attention to detail, the lavish use of precious materials, and the pursuit of perfection in every stitch set a high bar for what is considered luxury. This influence did not wane with time. Even in the modern era, royal fashion continues to shape luxury trends. Every outfit worn by a member of the royal family is scrutinized, analyzed, and often replicated. Designers and fashion houses take cues from royal fashion, incorporating elements into their collections, thus perpetuating the cycle of influence. Understanding this influence is critical when discussing luxury fashion. It's not just about the clothes, it's about the symbolism, the tradition, and the expectation of excellence that comes with royal fashion. It's about the ability to convey a message without saying a word, to command respect and admiration with a single glance. This is the enduring impact of royal fashion. It is a testament to the power of clothes, not just as a means of covering our bodies, but as a tool for communication, for expressing identity, and for asserting influence. Royal fashion, from its inception to the present day, has left an indelible mark on the world of luxury fashion, shaping trends, and defining what we perceive as luxury.